Hey guys, Tim Walling with SC Legal Carrier. We train people to get a CWP in the state of South Carolina. If you need a CWP, please look us up online at sclegalcarrier.com. Now, a friend of mine came by today and he brought over his Sig P365 XL. It is already cut for an Optic and he just got this in today. He got it in his Romeo 0. So we ripped it open here. So of course you get the Romeo, comes with it. It's plastic. Very, very lightweight, very small. No bottom to it, so the battery's going to insert right here. Just take a look at the glass on that. It comes with two sets of screws, mounting screws, and one set is the Sig P365 XL screws, and they are actually a little longer than the other set. There's another set in here, an M4. And then these are the M3s here. So we're going to use the M3s. They're actually marked for the 365 XL. Those are ones we'll. Battery size for this thing is a 32, CR1632 on your battery. And it comes with this small piece of 3M tape here. It's hard plastic underneath here. It's sticky on one side. Really no instructions in there to tell you how to use it. So just looking at it, we're going to stick this to the top of the firearm. We wouldn't want to actually put the sticky part on the Optic because then you couldn't change the battery out on it, correct? First thing we want to do is clear the firearm. So we've cleared the firearm and we're going to take it down. So we slide locked it. Take it apart. We won't need the base. Your grip, we'll set it over here. Right here. Two small screws right here. So the Sig 320s, you have to take the extractor out and the extractor spring in the back here. You don't have to do that. You can see the two screws there. So I'm using a CRV 5/64 is what I'm using here. So we're just going to insert this in here, and we've already broke these loose. So we're going to pull this out. These are some pretty long screws holding this in. They're really small screws, but they are some long screws holding it in. So I'm supporting the rear sight because the rear sight is what actually holds the Optic plate in place. These screws go through the Optic plate and into the bottom of the rear sight. So we take these two screws off. We'll turn them over. So here's your two screws that are holding it in. Set those down. Now, your rear sights come off, and then your Optic plate lifts up. So now that we've got that off, we're going to clean the top of this a little bit. Top is nice and clean. Let's put our 3M on here. Let's make sure we got it. Yep. So the corners didn't tear off. We want to make sure these corners come off of this. So we just center that up, drop it right on there. Just kind of mush it all in place. So we got our 3M plastic on there. Now we want to put our battery in. The battery goes in like this. So your plus side for your battery faces down. It faces down towards the top of the slide, okay? So this goes inside. We just drop it right in the bottom. So let's do it like this. Let's do it this way, and let's just set this on top of it. Since it's not wanting to, since the battery's just falling out of it there. We'll put it on upside down, and then we'll turn it right side up. Okay. There we go. So you can see it fits on there. Actually fits on there really nice. Good and tight fit there. Sig did a great job machining and making it. Let's set it down. So we're going to use the M3 screws that come with it. All right, we'll pop these out. Get the screws out of there. All right. So Sig's already put some Loctite on them here. So we'll just drop these in from the top. Let's start that a little bit. Now remember, we're just securing it, okay? That's all we're doing. We're not we're not cranking down on it yet. We want to crank down slow one side and the other side. Remember, these are fine threads, so when you're starting this nice and gentle, make sure it's gripping and it's pulling in there properly. All right, so it's starting to tighten up. Okay, so before we actually tighten it up, let's just check it out. Make sure we've done everything properly. So it's on, you can see the dot. All right, so we got it snug, here we go. Tighten up one side a little bit, jump over here, tighten up the other side. Oh, that one had a good bit more to go. That's why you do it slow, one side then the other. Jump back and forth. So I can feel it snugging up. Now, Sig, I don't want to put too much pressure on it here because Sig recommends that you put 9 inch-pounds. 9 inch-pounds. So we've got our Wheeler Fat Max here, right? Fat wrench. And we're using the same attachment here that we use to remove the screws from the factory. So now we're going to apply a little more pressure. There we go. It snapped, and there we go. Just check it. So it didn't take much at all to tighten it on. That is good and secure though. There's virtually no weight to this thing at all. You almost couldn't even feel it in your hand while you were holding it. Really easy install there. So we didn't have to take our spring out or anything, so we'll just slide this back together. And slide lock it open. Flip it back. Trigger function. Well, now that looks like it's already set up. When I get my sights on this firearm, it is co-witnessing. That red dot is dropping right in front of that front sight. You can see it comes with a notch in the rear here. So your rear sight has a notch in it, so it still lines up with your front. And when you set it in there, I don't think it's going to require any adjustment. Well, that's the first time I've ever put one on that didn't need adjusting, but we still got a bore sight here. So let's drop a bore sight in it and let's see how it works. See how close that is. Now your bore sights aren't 100% either, okay? Now, I've used this bore sight a good bit. I sighted one in earlier, and I was about 8 inches off to the left in it. And I had to adjust my sights, but this is exactly where I would have had to put it the other one earlier. So I think it's actually sighted in. It's ready to roll straight from Sig. I can't get the bore sight back out, of course. Well, Sig, that was actually an easy install. Really quick, really fast, not a lot of tools needed. Looks good on the gun, really doesn't change the weight at all in it. It looks like it came preset and sighted in, ready to roll. So remember folks, be a responsible adult. Secure your firearms. Don't push your responsibility off onto a child. Take care, guys.